You've been robbed of something that's very important to the human condition. And that one thing is something that most people never think of, especially in 2026, but it's a key factor in you becoming wealthy and successful. In this video, I'm gonna break down how you've been robbed and what you can do to fix it, to get what was taken from you back. Most of you guys will probably have no idea what I'm talking about in this video, but I assure you that it's very important to your success. There's one key component that big tech technology has stolen from you over the past 15 to 20 years. And that one component is something that most people never think about. That component is boredom. Most people never think about it, especially the younger generations. Most of you have never experienced true boredom. If you're under the age of 25, I assure you that you have never experienced true boredom. You've been glued to your phone, doom scrolling Instagram, TikTok, watching Netflix, playing videos on YouTube, spending your entire day consuming content. You don't have a moment of reprieve. You don't have a moment to think for yourself, to sit in silence and contemplate your own existence, to think about what troubles you, to clear your mind, to clear the air. You've been consuming content your entire life without a moment of silence. And one thing that most people don't understand about life is that it is really important, truly important, to have those moments of clarity. Those moments of silence are the moments where true creativity comes to the forefront, where actual innovation takes place. And in the big 2026, most people don't have the opportunity. They don't have the privilege to sit back and contemplate, sit back and think of ideas, sit back and create something new, fresh, innovative. Most people are slaves to the algorithm. They're unable to really discover themselves and discover what their true passions are. And that is what has been stolen from you by big tech. Big tech has put you in a rat race to the bottom. Most of you guys don't remember the days before high-speed internet, where you were forced to be bored, forced to sit back and think, forced to solve problems on your own. As a person who's in their 30s, I can attest to that. Spending hours and hours by myself in silence, reading a book, building a puzzle, thinking about myself, staring into space. Technology has stolen all of that from you. It's up to you to take back the reins of your life. But the only way you're going to be able to do that is if you get off the internet, you stop consuming, and you start producing. And now with the rise of AI, it's going to become even more difficult to become a self-sustaining, innovative person, because the truth is that most human beings are lazy. If you're not forced to create, if you're not forced to innovate, you will not innovate. We've fallen into this hole of consumerism where you turn on your phone as soon as you wake up and you start consuming content. I assure you that most people haven't sat back and tried to read a book in ages. Most people are not building applications. Most people are not writing novels. Most people are not even creating content like I'm doing right now. They're too busy consuming. They're too busy being entertained. Entertainment is the death of creativity. The reason why we've come up with art, music, movies, all of the entertainment that we have now is because of boredom. Before this constant online, there was nothing to consume. There was no content. The concept of content is something new, and it has stolen your entire life. It has stolen your entire day. Most people spend their entire day consuming. This is the reason why you're depressed. It's because you've been robbed, and you know this in your heart. You really do. You can feel it. You can feel that itch to do something. But instead of listening to that voice in your head, in your heart that tells you to go create something, to go build something, you don't. You stifle it and you go and you watch content to soothe that itch. And then you wonder why you're depressed. The reason you're depressed is because you've been robbed. Big tech has tricked you into becoming a consumer. They want to convert you into a complete NPC. And that's the direction we're going in. And the only way to stop this is to start producing. Take time out of the day to clear your thoughts, to set your goals, to start building something, to start working on a project that adds value back to society. This is the only way you're going to escape the matrix, as our good friend would say. It's the only way you're going to be able to escape the matrix and get to the next level in life. It's the only way you're going to be able to be independent from your overlords. They want to control every aspect of your life. They want to know everything about you so they can feed you ads nonstop. So they can have you stand in front of a cheap watch store for hours on end, days on end, for a cheap piece of plastic because it has a name on it. This is how they control you. And the moment you start creating, the moment you start building, the moment you find yourself, you take the time to detox from the technology. You take the time to really sit back and think about your goals, find yourself, find your passions, find what you really want to do. That's the moment you get your freedom back. That's the moment you get to the next level. That's the moment you become one of the people that other people watch. You become the protagonist of your own story. And that will never happen if you continue down the path of consumerism. You continue down the path of a viewer. You do not want to go through life as a passive viewer, letting the days go by without doing anything for yourself. But this is the path that big tech has set out for you. This is the path that social media has set out for you. Social media is no longer even social. It's literally just a giant ad campaign. You've fallen for the trap. You're stuck in the matrix and you haven't realized it. They are trying to erase your identity. And I guess the true question I should ask myself is, are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Of course you're not. Because that hole that you think that you will fill with entertainment, it can only be filled with creativity. It can only be filled with your own passions, your own identity. And the problem is that most people that watch content nonstop have lost themselves. They're a passive actor in their own life instead of being the protagonist of their story. Wake you up to the reality that one of the best feelings in this life is the feeling of creating something with your own hands, completing a task. And one thing I hope you find out, and it's one of the major pleasures in life, is the satisfaction of watching another person get value from something that you created with your own hands. And that experience is something that has been stolen from you. And I know I've said it 7 times in this video, but I'll say it one more time. You've been robbed and it's time for you to wake up. And the first step is to track how many hours you spend a day consuming content that is not your own. Step number 2 is to take a hiatus and find what you are passionate about. What do you actually enjoy? Who are you as a person? What actually brings you happiness? Step number 3 is to start actually doing that thing, building on it, becoming the best at it. Not proficient, not good, becoming the best at whatever it is. And step number 4 is figuring out how to use that passion to bring value to others. It doesn't matter what the passion is, figure it out and figure out how to return value back to society by doing something that you love. This is what most people have forgotten or never learned at all because their parents were slaves to the system. You're born into slavery. It's up to you to break those shackles and learn who you are as an individual. You only live one life. If you live one life, this is your one chance to experience it. So wake up and experience it. Become the protagonist of your story. Learn who you are. Build, because I assure you that when you build something, it will bring you the satisfaction that you're looking for. I always tell people, I don't believe in depression. Depression is your body telling you that you need to create, that you need to build, that you need to find yourself, that you need to be grounded in who you are as a person. Once you find out who you are, once you sit down and start to create, once you sit down and start to build, that depression will be forgotten. Human beings are like diamonds. They're built under pressure. But sitting back in your recliner all day watching content is not going to help you achieve that. You will never become successful. You will never become somebody on this planet if you sit back and you don't create, if you don't bring value to the community. Hundreds of thousands of years of evolution was put into place for you to exist, and you exist in order for you to create. It wasn't for you to sit back and do nothing. Squander your opportunity of existence in this reality because you decided to be lazy and watch other people all day. That is not your purpose in this life. So I hope that this video is a wake-up call, because if you want to be successful, if you want to be an exceptional human being, you need to wake up. You need to follow your passions. And it's not going to be easy, but that's the beauty of it. The beauty is it's not going to be easy. It's going to be stressful. It's going to be frustrating. There are going to be obstacles. When you overcome that difficulty, the reward that you will obtain will be the best reward that you've experienced in your entire life. There is no better reward than starting from scratch, from the bottom, having nothing and making your way up to a person who's actually successful. And the only way you're going to do that is if you find yourself. It's a lie that you've been fed that you're going to be able to sit back and relax. You need to follow a checklist and you're going to make it. There is no checklist to life. The checklist is finding who the fuck you are and locking in. So do it. I'm tired of sitting here every single day and talking to people on the internet and telling them what I did to become successful and what I'm doing to become more successful and have them naysay it. And the worst thing that can happen to you as a human being, the saddest thing that can happen to you as a human being, is that you get to old age and on your dying deathbed, you realize that you wasted your entire life because you never were yourself. You were too afraid to take any risks. You were too afraid to build something. You were too afraid to show other people your ideas because you were afraid of failing. Don't be that person. What is coming is not going to be easy. I'm telling you that right now. The future, we're heading towards a dystopia where there will be no individual unless you stand up and fight back. And most of you aren't willing to do that. Most of you are pain adverse. You're not willing to learn about yourself. You're not willing to stop the flow of free pleasure in order to suffer and find the true path. That's all I want to say. I hope that you wake up. I hope that you take back what was stolen from you. If you want to watch more unhinged rants, if you want to watch a middle-aged man rant and get angry because of what he's seeing in society, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I'll catch you on the upside. I'm out. Peace.